Good evening, I'm Erica Thomas.
And I'm Stan Boney. We hear stories all the time about drug overdoses, some fatal, some not. It's being called an epidemic sweeping the country.
Today, people stood up to fight the problem on International Overdose Awareness Day. Several events around the valley marked the lives lost and gave hope to those fighting addiction. New at 10, 27 First News reporter Molly Reed shares the story she heard.
Just last week, 9 states, including Ohio, came together for a first ever regional summit to tackle opioid addiction. Well, today I saw firsthand the long-term and even fatal effects drugs have on people and their families. 3 people shared their story with me, 2 mothers of addicts who lost their lives and another recovering addict who wanted to bring a message to the crowd. Nicole Gattrell's son Alec was just 21 when his heroin addiction took his life in June.
He started about 3 years ago. We found out in high school. Tried to figure out what was going on. We just thought he was being a typical teenager and, talking to the school, and nobody knew he was using drugs.
Nicole was just one of many in the crowd in Warren today who gathered for Ohio Can's Overdose Awareness Day to remember the lives lost and support brighter futures for those struggling. A similar story could be told at Lisbon's event. Amy Giovanni's daughter was found naked, beat up, and thrown out of her car in a conflict over drugs. Her addiction started at just 15, with painkillers after a surgery. Today, Amy told the crowd about the difference in enabling versus supporting, and to tell those struggling with addiction they can make it out.
We don't have to stay in that misery, and we can make something good at it and help other people, and by helping other people, we help ourselves. And we do need to bring awareness to this issue and hopefully get some changes made in society.
The message the group really wanted to drive home tonight is that drug addiction doesn't just affect that crazy guy living out on the streets. It can affect anybody from professionals to teenagers.
Everybody just needs to be working as a community instead of, on their own. It's not a divide and conquer. It is everybody coming together and supporting the epidemic that we have going on right now.
Amanda Shawless has been sober now for a year and supported the movement today.
My career was nursing, and due to my addiction, I ended up losing my career, and at 32 years old having to start all over.
She said if she can just help one person who's struggling now, that's all that matters. Although the rain came down tonight, 50 to 75 people showed up to both events. They both had speakers to talk about addiction, the fight against it, and how to change society's stigma of who it truly affects. In the studio, Molly Reed, WKBN 27 First News at 10.